Lulu. Do, 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 lulu. Do, 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 lulu. Connect to chat. Chat's working. Post this thing. Post's working. Does this work? Heck yeah, it works. There I am. Let's have a quick check to see how I sound, though. How do I quick check to see how I sound, though? I sound okay. I sound okay, you know. I'm not gonna go really high and say I look incredible, but I look okay. I look okay. Everything's working. Everything's doing its due. How is everybody? How is everybody? You know what? Do I have any sound on this thing? I don't have. Did I turn down music? I did. Let's get some music on. No, I don't need Google Chrome. You don't need to tell me what's happening. Let's put this on. Because this seems fun. Anyway, how is everybody? How is everybody? It's Friday, fucking finally. Which means we get to play some Neverwinter, which is going to be fun. But we also means we're off of work or school. That's pretty loud. I'm going to turn that down. Hope everybody can hear me okay. It doesn't really matter, does it? So. Boop, 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 ba-doop, ba-doop. We're going to get rid of this. We're going to get rid of this. Boom. This is Vistra. She's got herself a slightly better cape now. I like that the armor kind of implies that there's a cape here and they're keeping it in place. You know, with this bit and this bit. It does clip a bit on this side, which is a bit of a shame, but what can you do? God, this sounds really, like, sinister. But I went on really weird tangents while I was driving home, and I'm interested to see how weird they are and how weird people think they are, because I'm not sure if I'm insane or if I'm an absolute blimmin' genius, and it's probably a bit of both. Spelljammer Adventure in Wild Spaces Live, featuring a new campaign. Ooh. Valuables. Promo. Ooh, I get a title. Not that good. I mean, I'll buy it. And I'll use it just to get rid of the thing.
If you have any questions, please let me know.
But then why do they give it me? Discard this. What is the name? Discard. Sure. Discard. Nope. Discard. Please. Thank you. Oh, I need to get rid of all this stuff. Speak with who? Some dude up there. Ah, he's probably not important. Anyone here that I can sell to? Any of you just regular sellmen? You seem like a regular sellman.
Have you acquired any seals of these?
No, I haven't acquired any seals. What is this? Treasure? Sure, sell the treasure. This is better. This is worse. Okay. So this is just strictly better. Yeah, sure. And then we're going to turn this into refinement points. No, not refine it ourselves. Convert it into refinement points. Why not? God, do I ever naturally get lockboxes? Like, does that ever happen? At all? I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I don't. Ever. Okay, who's this? Hello, good sir. Have you met Porky? He's even gooder of a sir. That's not good. I don't remember what was happening. What can
You have the look of one who is full of questions.
I do have a lot of questions. What can you tell me about enchantments?
By refining and upgrading an enchantment, runestone, or artifact, you can make it more powerful. I'm going to give you
don't need to do that.
glass enchantment, along with some polished quartz that you can refine. In addition, I am giving you a reagent to upgrade the etched glass enchantment once the refining is done. Go ahead, give it a try. Remember to bring your work back to me so we can see how you have progressed.
I'll see about finishing that right now. Etched glass enchantment. Okay. Mark of potency.
If you have any questions, please let me know.
Okay. How do I gain marks of potency? Are you going to tell me that?
Let me see what you were able to accomplish. Well done indeed. It seems that you will be able to master the art of refining items in no time. Please take this as a token of my esteem.
Thank you, Tarum. Farewell, Tarum. I'm really not sure you actually taught me anything, other than that there was an option to click advancement, and that was it. Hey,
If you have any
Sergeant.
questions,
Protector's
please let me know.
Enclave. Armed with the knowledge of how
I
to
don't know that. I
refine
don't
and
have the
enchant your
knowledge.
equipment,
He
you
didn't
should
talk
be
about
ready
my
for your
equipment
next
either.
adventure.
Sure, I guess.
Not every threat to Neverwinter is as far-flung as I spy a peak. There's a very present danger right here in our own backyard.
I feel like you'd want to
During the
deal with that one
cataclysm,
first.
A huge rift in the earth opened up beneath a portion of the city. We call it the Chasm, and it's a seemingly endless source of plague-changed monstrosities. The only thing standing between those creatures and the city is a unit known as Scar Company. I'm sure the soldiers of Scar Company would be grateful for any assistance you can offer. You should report to Captain Markath in the Chasm.
Okay, okay. First off, though, let me click this. Thank you. What is this? Uncommon Companion Enhancement. Oh, that's good. What's this? Mystic chance on hit to reduce enemies' awareness by up to 1.5%
If you have any questions,
for
please let me
15
know.
seconds when your companion is near. The value of this debuff depends on the item level of your summoned pet. After being revived, add... Okay. Okay. Oh, it's a companion. You will be called Aurora. You know what? No, I'm gonna be nice. There, cool. So let's have a look at these companions. Characters, companions, good old Porky. So, the thing I had on before was this. And this... Is that what I had on before? No, I've just put that on somewhere. That was just a new thing I've gained. I also gained, in terms of companions, I gained... Wait, I can summon it as an adult? Doesn't seem to change anything.
If you have any questions, please let me know.
Okay. Pig instincts. Redemption. Okay. I think redemption's better. Manage your companions. Matured. This doesn't change its look, like, at all, in my opinion. Does the adult pick?
If you have any questions, please
Does the
let me know.
guy change? None of them seem to change, really. This seems better. I choose this. I'm not really sure what's happening there, if I'm being completely honest. But where did the gem that I had go? Enhancements? Oh, it went here. I didn't even see this whole page. So I've got to get an enhancement for each one of these sections. And an artifact? And an overload? Okay. Is this the late game stuff? I imagine that's the late game stuff, right? It's not something I need to know about now, right? I hope so, at the very least, because I don't know anything. Oh, wait, what am I doing? Yeah! Oh, he's the best. He's the absolute best. I'd like to go to the chasm. Oh? I wonder if there's supposed to be music here, but I turned off all the music. I thought they were stopping to talk to me.
Kill some plague changed. We've got a big quota to fill.
Your eyes are ridiculously blue. Like, insanely
You're
blue.
here to help?
Paul
You ain't
Hollywood
got any
level
sign of the
blue.
plague on you. You're either the bravest adventurer to wander into Scarkeep, or the stupidest.
Oh, are you
I'll
like
give you the benefit of the
Blimmin',
doubt.
the leper from
Mainly 'cause
Blimmin'
we're the
Darkest
boss.
Dungeon?
We're
you've
here
already
because
been
we
plague
volunteered to be the
changed.
first line of defense against the plague changed. I guess you're here because the folks topside got my message about weird things going on around here. Well, weirder than normal.
Sure. Got ya. What do you need me to do?
Topside don't like dealing with us much for fear of catching the plague.
That makes
We
sense.
only really get supplies when we get new recruits. The rest we have to scavenge from buildings here in the chasm.
That's not
We're running
good.
short on weapons and supplies to arm our soldiers. Real soon we'll be using rocks, sticks, and harsh language. You look pretty well armed. You
That
think you
guy's
can help?
glowing and he
Head
has
into
a
the broken
sword.
barracks to the
Can't
northwest.
be that bad.
And recover whatever weapons and supplies you can find.
Sure, got ya. Instantly sending me on one of the harder missions. Wait, where is the... I need to say hi to Tyr. Where's Tyr? What have you gifted me, good God? Celestial coin, ardent coin, 100. What I don't understand here is it says 180 50% bonus rogue astral diamonds. Does that mean that I'm gaining 90 rough astral diamonds, or that maybe like the next time I gain rough diamonds I get a 50% more? Like it's not 100% clear in my opinion. Let's deal with this first. Yeah. Lightning bolt, lightning bolt. Oh, I forgot I got the new lightning. I've got the cool attack. The blimmin' flames. Can't say the word spear. Flame spear. Look at this. Yeah. Okay, that's awesome. Oh, and it does something. Oh, I now have something where I can... Okay. Okay, that makes a lot of sense now. I have something that can use the magnitude little balls I get. That's probably why it did so much damage. What the heck are those things? Oh, it's a knockpick. I remember you. Oh, that's a problem. Oh, no. That's a problem. That's a problem if I ever saw one. Oh. Hey, not that big of a problem though, eh? Okay, I'm sort of figuring out stuff. I swear to God, if this is another Doom blimmin' chest or whatever, Doom space chest, I don't need them. Also, it's the whole point of them, by the way, that they're supposed to be. Some of them are Doom looking things. Because one of the armor sets just looks like it is from Doom. Is that what it's called? Am I mixing it completely? The one where you play like a badass guy who's hunting demons? Is that Doom? I think that's what it's called. So I was thinking about this on the drive home, about like what kind of, specifically what kind of like color scheme I'd want to go with if I could start customizing my character. I don't know if you can. I don't remember if there was an option to do that, but if I can, I was thinking about like, normally there's 3 different kinds of colors you can go, right? There's normally a primary, a secondary, and a tertiary. I think that's generally what people like to choose in terms of like how you do glamoring or customization of your
Well
look.
done. Now we've got a chance to
I'll finish
strike
after
back
this.
at these creatures.
Thanks. Cool. Yeah, plague
We
fires.
could really use someone like you at our forward base. I want you to report to Lieutenant
I would
Trell
have
at Fort
thought plague
Precipice.
fires would get rid of the
There is
plague.
something you can do on your way. Maybe you've noticed those blue plague fire geysers nearby. They're setting the ruins
Jesus.
ablaze and spawning all kinds of plague-changed creatures. If we don't do something soon, they'll overwhelm Scarkeep. Luckily, some of the recovered supplies included
cool
dwarven
name.
blasting runes. Tossing a rune into a plague fire geyser should cause it to collapse. I'd be obliged if you'd knock out a few geysers on your way to Fort Precipice.
Cool. Anyway, as I was saying, like I was thinking of like what kind of color scheme to go with, and generally my go-to color scheme is bronze, or I guess brown, as the main color, and then like a green is like a secondary color. That's always my go-to, right? And I was wondering, like, I like that combo, but I don't really see it too often and stuff. I was wondering, he's dead. What do you reckon the final color would be? Like the tertiary or the auxiliary or whatever you'd call it color? Because I was like, I'm not very good with figuring out what's a good color combination, right? So I was thinking about what I knew were like good good things that complement each other. Just because you see them a lot in like society. So my immediate thought is, okay, well you're doing green. So what complements green? Well, we see it literally at a certain point every year. The obvious complement to green is red, right? And I'm like, okay, that seems like a good idea. But does... The question is, does that complement the main color, which is, I guess, a brown, but really bronze is what I'd want. And if it does, like, how do I figure that out, right? Obviously, I could have just done a quick Google search, but you know that would be easy, and I didn't think to do it easily. So instead, I was just thinking about it, and I was like, as I've been saying constantly, Jesus, that's loud. As I've been saying constantly with this whole thing, bronze is very similar to brown. But then I thought about it a bit more, and I was thinking about the other combinations that are like other things that are very similar to each other. So you've got like brown and bronze are obviously quite
Take
similar.
heart, Scar.
And then obviously,
Death with meaning is never shameful.
what is this? No, you can have that. Brown and bronze are obviously a very good combo. And oh, sorry, I'll
The
finish
fight
this
against the
conversation
creatures of
after.
the chasm goes poorly.
Holy shit, what's happened to
Their
you?
numbers seem limitless, while we are so few.
Oh, the plague.
So, you are the source of the blasts we heard coming from the burning road. Well done. I'm happy to have some of those geysers sealed, and even happier to have a volunteer to lend us a hand.
Cool. What's
Our
up?
chaplain Imris has asked for aid in recovering the bodies of our comrades who fell in the last battle.
Okay.
I'm not going to risk more of my men without a good reason.
Okay.
But perhaps you can help Imris. Speak with him to see if he has a plan.
So what you just said is, I don't want to send my men to their certain death, so I'm sending
Scar
you.
Company is a grim unit, but a proud one. We bore our company colors bravely into battle, but lost them in the fight when we were nearly overwhelmed. The loss of that banner feels like a personal insult to every soldier in this command. It
I
would
can
be a great
imagine morale.
boost to our faltering morale if you could recover it. If you manage to recapture the banner, bring it here and raise it on the flagpole above the battlements. But be forewarned, the place where it now lies is guarded by some of the most formidable creatures we have yet faced.
Cool.
Too many good soldiers.
So yeah, I was thinking, I was like, okay, what's the obvious combos between these?
Many Scar Company soldiers fell in our counteroffensive,
There's
and
so
their
many
bodies were not
talking
recovered.
bits. Sorry.
Every surviving member of the company feels the shame of leaving slain comrades behind.
Yeah.
Those soldiers deserve a proper burial. If the bodies were clearly marked and prepared for recovery, I'm certain the lieutenant would allow a group of volunteers to recover the remains.
I don't know. He didn't allow you
I can
anything
supply
else.
you with marker flags and shrouds. Will you use them to mark our fallen comrades?
Gladly. They've given their life. But yeah, I was like, okay, let me have a look at these combos. And I thought about like silver and grey. And actually, the more you think about it, like, initially when I started, I was like, oh, well, it's just silver is just like shiny grey, right? I love this attack. But it's actually a bit more than that when you think about it a bit more. Because I was thinking about, okay, what if I darken grey? If I darken silver, is it just grey? But it's not. The more I thought about it, it's not. It's its own colour, right? It's its own sort of like colour that is distinct to the others. And then I was thinking about like, okay, well then how would you paint these if you were like doing some, you know, painting a model or painting something, right? And when you're painting these kinds of things, the way they do, the easiest way to do a metal without actually, the easiest way to like have to paint silvers or any form of metal is to get like this paint in which it has like little flecks of like metal, shiny metal in them. And that feels like, I was like, that's a bit surprising. I didn't expect that. Quick, I love that attack. But I was like, I didn't expect this. And then I looked into it a bit more. I say look into it. I was watching a stream where they were talking about it, and they started talking about how started talking about how you can also do it by like layering whites and greys and stuff, it was like, this seems like a lot of work. But I think the conclusion I came to is that they are, although they are different colors, and I definitely feel like they are very similar. And I think the difference probably is like in the texture, right? You can get the same sort of color if you, from grays and stuff, if you have the texture of the whole thing. Come on. You have the texture of the whole thing be a certain texture that feels metallic in some capacity. I'm not sure 100% if that's the reasoning, but that's sort of what I came to the conclusion of. And from that, I came to the conclusion that I can't really use bronze to be that good of an indicator of what works in terms of color combinations. So I've had to have a little bit more of a thought on it.
That is welcome news. With what you've done, we'll be able to recover our dead safely. Thank you, adventurer. Not many would be willing to help our cause.
So I don't know what I'll do, but my instinct at this point is, how do I look? Okay. My instinct at this point is to say that I will just check via like previews and stuff to see which works. But I've always been a big fan of the sort of the bronze and green look, because it sort of in my head invokes the feeling of like this ancient blimmin' construct or something. Like that's gotten so old that moss has started to sort of like appear on its body. And I very much like that imagery. I think that's just a really cool look. I just think bronze is very underrated for looking like, I'm not gonna say like regal, but for looking like stalwart and stuff. I think it does incredibly well in that aspect. I think whenever I see like knightly orders or something using it, like proper heavy armored units using it, I instantly find myself thinking, this is a cool
That
look.
banner is more than a piece of cloth. It represents hope to every member of this company. By recovering it, you've helped restore our fighting spirit.
Yeah.
We're ready to soldier on now. The entire company salutes you.
Ah, you're welcome.
The plague-changed creatures we face are formidable, but
Ooh,
their
they were
lack of
talking about
organization has always given us a small advantage. But now that advantage has been lost. When we launched our attack against the plague-changed, we discovered they were being controlled by a creature called Trokar the Firestarter. Trokar's a potent spellcaster, and savvy enough in the ways of war to control the mob of chaotic creatures he commands. Our scouts report he has taken up residence in the ruins just north of here. If we hope to halt the advance of the plague-changed, Trokar must be eliminated.
Sure. Ooh, that's cool. A little lion. I guess it's not little. But yeah, I just think I think it looks incredible, and I think it's severely underrated. It's because everyone thinks of it as like kind of being third place, because you know gold and silver always take up the top positions. But give bronze a chance. I know it's just an alloy, unlike the others, but it's really cool. Oh, praise the Tyr. Tyr's blessing. Yeah, I've gotten 360, but half, I guess, maybe? I don't know. I don't know how that works. Lightning bolt. Get in line. Yes, go in a line. I'm on fire. Oh, no, I'm good. Is there anything over here? This feels like loot. Loot? Those look like potions. No? Okay. Oh, what's he doing? Look at this. And this. Is the third attack that I do every time like a bigger attack? I think it is. I think in that that basic attack thing, the third one like charges up more, but maybe does more damage. I don't know. Let's just do a casual this. These are a cool look. I wonder if they're actually in like a monster manual that I could use. That would be really interesting. God, I was really nervous at work today because halfway through the day I got told about something happening at work. Apparently, one of the people at my work had decided that enough was enough, and one of the people who keeps taking personal calls at work, they were like, screw it, I'm going to tell work that this is what they're doing. And I was completely out of the loop. About a couple of other people at work knew it was going to happen, but it definitely made the last part of the day really awkward. At least for me. I think I trapped it. Good on you, Porky. You did it. God, it's almost just better to get mimics half the time. Yeah, I'm getting hurt. How did I miss those before? Maybe I didn't miss those before. Are these better? That's better. Bag of refining. Peridot. Go with the other peridot. Can I use this? No. Yes? No. I need to be level 15. But yeah, it made the whole day really blimmin' awkward. Even though I had nothing to actually to do with the whole thing. It still, like, blimmin' scared me. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, it was an open secret that they were constantly doing this. Constantly taking personal calls at work. And so, to a certain extent, I am glad that they've done it, because it is something that needed to be talked about. I mean, they're getting paid the big bucks, relatively, for the small company I work for, but they're not doing... They're constantly taking these personal calls. And sure, recently there's been a reason to it, because, like, they've been trying to go through the whole hubbubaloo of buying a house. But it was still, 3 to 4 times a day. Before the house thing was going on. I need to get an ability to get more divinity. Because I am going through it like a blimmin', I don't know, me with a bunch of Maltesers or something. There's 3 attacks coming at me? Can I get him in a row? I can. So yeah, that was interesting. It made the final day of the week go a bit iffy. But it needed to be done, and we'll see what happens because of it in the next couple working days. I don't have much hope for it to actually do anything, because one of the conversations that happened after the fact was effectively, I saw it. I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to jinx it. But I saw it maybe a bit negatively, but I saw one of the conversations she had as effectively trying to pawn off the fact that she would have to work on the phones to somebody else. And immediately I was like, well, then this isn't going to go very well. There's no way that that's something I need. No. How do I get rid of this? Put Trokar the fire starter. Twisted fire starter. Do do do. Ow! Ah! There's the logic that I should he's got all the flames on the ground. And I should dodge them, but without falling into the trap of hitting the other fire that's on the floor. Right? Is that the logic? Forky, save me! Where is Porky? Did he not come into this boss fight? Was he scared? Is it because he thought he'd get cut? I mean, that makes complete sense. I'd be scared as well. Kill him! Kill him! Kill him with fire! Wait, no, don't kill him with fire. He's used to fire. Damn, do you ever feel like you've never gotten the right skills for the blooming areas you're in? What this? That important? Oh, Porky, you're back now. Of course you are. Or maybe you're dying instantly. That's also a possibility, right? But yeah, I'm sort of glad that at the end of the day that they've this it might be resolved, but this has happened before and it's not always resolved. Sometimes it's only for like a couple of weeks that she
The
actually
fight against the creatures of the
does
chasm
stuff.
goes poorly. Their numbers seem limitless.
Oh, I've heard
Well
this.
done. That's one less chasm-spawned monstrosity to deal with.
Sure.
We have a squad deeper in the chasm, guarding a Sun Elf sorcerer named Quorthon, who is
Quorthon?
studying the spell plague. He sends word he has gained insight into the true
True
nature
nature.
of the chasm and requires further assistance. Quorthon created and maintains the magic portals that allow us to move around the chasm. His research is
Here's a
vital to our mission.
teleportation circle going on.
Follow the road downslope from Fort Precipice. You'll come to the first portal. Activate it, and you'll travel to an Earth moat where you can find Quorthon.
But I don't know what it is about his voice specifically, but it grates into my ear. I don't want to be mean to the guy, but it just something about it just
Duty,
Right.
loyalty, righteousness. These things Torn values above all.
okay. Well, I'm not a follower of Torn, mate. You know what? Let's actually sit up straight. I mean, you can't see me, but I need to sit up straight. That's a bit worrying. My keyboard might be doing... Oh! My keyboard's back. Occasionally my keyboard like stops working, but I've got a sneaking suspicion it isn't the keyboard that's the problem. It's maybe the ports on my computer. But I really am just procrastinating on actually solving the problem. One of the reasons actually I actively avoid the more active games. This is the exception because it is actually quite active, dodging attacks and stuff, but for the most part, like, it's why I've played very little Helldivers, even though I love it. This place looks completely blimmin' different. Okay. God, I'm finally getting to play some D&D after a while. There's been a couple of
The spell plague energies are building. We must act quickly.
God. Anyway, yeah. So it's the first time I've been playing D&D in, I think, about a month, maybe a bit longer, and I'm really looking forward to it. But admittedly, there was a couple things I've forgotten, so I've had to look up, like, had a little bit of a refresher in terms of what actually happened. But I'm really looking forward to it. In the time that we've had as a break, I got so much of this itch to play some D&D that I simultaneously started playing this and also made another, like, sort of story for one of my backup characters in that whole time.
Welcome,
I had that
my
itch,
friend.
you know.
As a wizard, I have a keen interest in all things arcane, and the spell plague is no exception. I've gained some insights into the nature of these strange energies during my time here in the chasm. Perhaps we can help each other with our respective goals.
You seem so evil in your voice and in your appearance. I'm so sorry. I know it's because you have a plague. I know it is, and I'm sorry that I say this, but it's true.
I am in need of a magical power source to keep the warp gates running.
Right.
Fortunately, a number of magical relics can still be salvaged from the ruins of the old Arcanist Quarter. The bizarre energies emanating from the chasm have rendered these items useless in regard to their original enchantments. However, I can still make good use of their residual magical.
That's good. Recycling's always good.
My warp gates are the only things that make travel here in the chasm possible. But to maintain them, I need those magic items.
Okay, but if you're the only reason we can travel between the chasm, why not just get rid of the warp gates and just lock all the spell plague dudes in the place that we can't get to?
I believe one of the members of Scar Company was looking for aid with an issue arising in the Arcanist Quarter.
Okay.
The twisted magic here is surely causing all manner of anomalies. See what you can do for Private Goodmark, and return here when you're finished.
Sure. Okay, meet Private Goodmark. Gather warped items. Is he Private Goodmark? Hello, Private Goodmark.
Corton sent you to help? Well, there's a small cemetery where minor wizards were once buried.
I hate
now the rest
please,
dead
okay.
there.
It wasn't easy of 10 new
When the
seals for one of the
cemetery was
Doom
still in
guys. If
use,
you place one of the
it
old
was
broken
blessed by
seals and use
priests
those
of
attempts, you might be
Kalimdor,
cleansed of
who
evil. I'll do what I
are
can.
dead.
So I can't listen to
They
that.
create powerful seals to ward off the curse of undeath. But I've seen with my own eyes that those seals are damaged.
I'm sorry, I had to skip that because of the blimmin' huge sound that was coming from that portal. God, I'd love to fight one of those Norvacs, the Norjaks, the eye creatures, these things, the Nothek, in an actual game. Because they're so cool. I love their look so much. Who's that? He's a captured warrior? Are you okay, good sir? I mean, there's no reason not to set you free. Even if that's not what I've been told to do here. I mean, it feels like they should have also asked me to do that, but I guess they are asking me a fair amount at this point. How much you want to bet that this chasm's being controlled by a chasm forge? A spell plague forge that's making the Nothak? Because statistically, every other campaign has had one of those. It's almost like they made a forge and they were like, that's a cool look. Let's use that again a couple times, you know, just to get its worth. Where the hell are these blimmin' weapons that I need? Why are people easier to find than the weapons? That doesn't look like... Oh, maybe over here. We'll kill these guys. That's why occasionally I hit the button, but because I hit another button quickly before that, quickly after that, it sort of recognizes that button pressed and cancels the Q button, I think. That's my guess on what's happening. I'm sorry, guy. I'm not gonna save you, but it's just because you're not giving me anything. There's these tiny little boxes I've got to find with warp weaponry in them. Do you have it? Cordia Nightbringer? I feel like I've come into an area that I'm actually not supposed to go into until much later. Hello, Nothex. I mean, unless you're guarding the things I want, there's no need for us to fight. Right? Don't attack me. Don't attack me and I won't attack you. There you are. So if you get the Spell Plague and you fall to it, you get cool crab arms. Or you get to turn into a one-eyed Nothak. I don't actually think you get to turn into those. They feel like they're a naturally occurring species. But still, the Raider guys, who I think are just people who've gotten turned by the warp shenanigans. They have cool look. They look really cool. They got little they got blue skin. Don't you agree, little gremlin? They got blue skin. They got crab arms. I mean, those things are frankly two main factors on why I would I join any kind of blimmin' situation. You say you're gonna give me crab arms, then there's not much that I wouldn't do. Because crab arms, they're pretty fucking cool. Of course, I need to some way to also, you know, control my digits in addition to that. But still. Crab arms, man. Okay, I put a new seal here. I put a new seal there. By logic, this is like... This place is kind of the only place I haven't checked. But I don't see it. I love trying to figure out how to get every enemy into a line now. That's become my job. It's just to find a way to make every encounter into a line encounter. An encounter where everything's in a line. Hey, Gremlin. Gremlin, where's the third one? You gotta show me. There it is. Thank you, mate. Ooh, I wonder which god this is. Token of worship. I don't feel like I should be stealing that. That feels like it might be slightly heretical, but... No one can blimmin' say I'm bad. I've got a flail snail. But you ever thought about playing it like an RPG or something, and then you know in that RPG that dependent on what, like, class you choose, there'll be specific things that, like, you want to do, like, that you get to do. So take, like...
The spell plague energies are building. We must act quickly.
Like, if you're a cleric, then you'll get specific cleric knowledges, or, like, specific cleric, like, options you can choose, and you're like... I want to choose this option because I want to choose this class because I get access to those options. But really, you want to try some of the other ones.
This will help keep the gates
Because I've been
open for a
having that
while.
thought about Baldur's Gate for a while now. because
The undead rest once again. This is good
well,
news.
they sort of immediately got up
We
after I
should
put
be
the
able to
seals on.
continue our efforts more easily with this problem behind us.
Because I was thinking about Baldur's Gate, and I was like, I want to try and get through a run, right? I want to finally do a run of Baldur's Gate, and initially I was like, well, I want to succeed on the persuasion checks, so I want to have somebody that has high charisma. I have to, which sort of limits what I can play to effectively Warlock. That's it, really. Maybe Sorcerer, if that's a thing. I don't remember if Sorcerer, they have all the classes. I think they do.
While we are on the topic of gates and portals, there is another urgent matter you can help us with. It seems the foul spawn of the chasm are attempting to build gates of their own. Such gates would allow them to bring hordes of aberrant creatures against Skarkeep.
That's bad. That's really freaking bad.
Energy emanating from a nearby Earth mote. This can only mean that the foul spawn gates are nearing completion.
That's horrendous.
These gates are powered by plague crystals. If these crystals are destroyed,
Plague crystals?
the gates will be closed. For the sake of Neverwinter, smash those plague crystals.
You don't have to tell me twice, mate. I'd smash those crystals for free. I guess I am doing it for free. No way, this is literally a quest. I'm not doing it for free at all. What am I saying? But yeah, I was thinking about it, and I was like,
going on about their normal business up above.
I was thinking about it, and I was like, okay. Do I just bite the bullet and assume that I'm not going to be able to do... Oh, I'm not actually supposed to go down through this. I'm not actually... I'm not going to be able to do all these persuasion checks, and maybe somebody later that I have in my party can do them instead, you know, and I just have to sort of bite that bullet? Or do I just go, okay, you're going to play a class you don't mind? Those look like crystals. Like a class that you don't hate, like, no problems with it. It's just not your favourite class, and it might not be the class you 100% wanted to go. But it means that you have options in the overall story that you would want. And that might be what I do. Because I don't mind playing a Warlock. Warlocks are kind of cool. It's just, their playstyle, or at least in base D&D, is a bit iffy. Because it relies on you doing a load of short rests to get all of your spell slots back, and you just don't have access to a lot of spell slots. The alternative is I just play an unoptimized version of a certain race, right? Or a certain class. So if I'm playing, say, like a ranger, I play a ranger that has an unusually high charisma stat. Because, why? Because I just want to play a good... I want to have the high charisma, you know? I can make some narrative to it, right? I'd do that if I was playing a game with my friend. If I was playing a game with my friends, then I'd assume that they would do all the persuasion checks. I'd assume there was someone with high charisma in the group that would deal with that, you know? Were those crystals outside of the area of the quest? I mean, they still counted, so it's not a huge deal, but still. I'm trying to figure out if attacking the crystals summons the demons, or a time limit thing summons them. I think it's I think it's might just be that they appear randomly with like a spawn thing. If they're not appearing now at all, and I'm attacking them, and also I took a lot longer than usual. Weird. Anyway, I've been talking about Baldur's Gate for a while now, and I might... See, I'm in two minds, because I do feel like it'd be good to play on Steam, on stream, just so that I have a consistent schedule for it. But I feel like I'd want to play more than just once a week. and I would get really itchy to do more. And
I felt the ebbing of arcane energy as you brought the gates down. You have done well. This will go a long way toward ensuring
that might
the
not be
safety
good
of
for my
Neverwinter.
blooming mental health. I could play so much of it, because I
The
would.
Order of Blue Fire, under their false prophetess Cenobith, the Corruptor, is spreading a message of
really
submission in the face of the spell plague.
Is it really a
Cenobith
false
must
prophet?
be dealt with, but she stays hidden within the ruins of the old Cathedral of Vistra, sealed by powerful magical wards. Acolytes can pass these wards with the aid of a magical talisman. Slay the Acolytes of Corruption and search them for a blue flame talisman. Then use it to enter the cathedral.
Okay.
Cenobith will be protected by even stronger spells inside. She does not trust any single one of her followers with the means to summon her from her lair. But if you slay all her lieutenants and capture their talismans, you will have the means to call her forth and put an end to her evil.
Okay, I'm gonna have a look at my powers. So I gained this, which I think is similar to this one. Yeah, it makes Radiant Judgment, but this is a single target to enemies. So it might be worth putting that one instead of this and just going full into Radiant. Full Radiant Judgment? Like, is that too weird? I think that's fine. I want to try out the new stuff, so why not? I'm doing a Radiant Judgment build. See, as I said, I'm in two minds, because I do want to, as I said, I want to do it on the stream, but also, like, I kind of want to do another Rogue Trader after this one. Just playing like Dogmatic. Potentially Heretic. Just to see what the differences are. Okay, that's kind of cool. Problem is, I might actually be leading more enemies closer to me. That's why I'm being... Well, I'm not actually being that restrictive on my abilities, but... Well, I should have been. Oh, that was a mistake. I definitely still need this. Summon more. Nice. I don't think I maybe could have done that without him. Well, no, I think I could have done it, but I think it would have taken a while. I mean, occasionally when I hit tab, it doesn't hold. Thank you, good sir. No, I'm good, mate. But thank you. I am good. I want to... I only party with people that I either... Like, I have to at least vaguely know them. If I vaguely know them, I mean literally them just saying a message in chat. Or obviously me knowing them from something else. What the hell? Oh shit, this is the full boss thing. Oh yeah, yeah. Epic Hero. Don't know why I got that just now, but... Fair enough. We're gonna wait 10 seconds for this to allow us to do this. Boop. Praise the Lord. Thank you. But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with this game, and I really like the just seeing in person these enemies that I've seen in like some bestiaries before, like some of them, right? Like this dude, at least what it's based on, I've seen before. See, why was that flashing when I had gotten rid of all of my little orbs? Yeah. I wanted that dude dead. And as you can probably expect, I did. What I find quite interesting about this compared to a lot of RPGs and even MMOs that I've played before is that it's not a situation where we don't have a situation here where they're not giving me a basic attack that gives me the divinity, which is the normal way to go, where it's like your basic attack gives you mana and then you use that mana to do powerful spells, right? And then there was one. And just heal up a bit. Ow! Dingus. God, this person's annoying. It might also be that I've distinctly ruined my build by getting rid of my big AoE. No, it's the children that are wrong. It's the children that are wrong. I'm perfectly fine. Look, I killed the dude. Oh, he summoned a bunch of dudes before he died. Oh, he summoned a lot of dudes. Thank God I have a heal. And thank God that at least I have some form of AoE. Can you imagine this without any AoE? I assume everyone gets an AoE. I feel like I'd never had this problem. I never had a problem when I was playing the other classes. And I got all of the other classes to 20, so... That's why I know that I can do this while streaming, because I got them all the way to 20 without really understanding the basic concept of half of them. You know? Order of the Blue Flame. Huh. Order of the Blue Flame, huh? I think your aesthetic might be a bit off. Unless you're being invaded by your purple flame buddies. At the same point as I'm also invading you. In which case that makes complete sense, and I understand. Like, civil wars are a thing. Oh, hello. God, that Nothic survived a lot. Porky, I'm gonna need you to pull some weight. Like, I'm not saying that you're not doing anything, because you're definitely doing a lot, especially in the morale department. You're keeping us all fit and ready with your incredible morale. Lightning bolt, lightning bolt, lightning bolt, lightning bolt! Oh, no! Why are there so many of them? Well, that was close. Did you see when all of them blimmin' attacked me and I lost like almost half of my health? That was blimmin' scary. Honestly, with how things were, that guy joining could have been the death of me. You know, like, one extra person doing that attack could have been the difference between death and life. I want the chest. I do love this single target attack. I know it's getting rid of my AoE, and it's probably statistically better to have like one that uses Radiant and one that uses the other one. Searing, I think it's called. But still, I'm happy with what's happening here. Oh, interesting. So the map, it doesn't know where the next guys are, but it knew where the first two were. Is it because it's not on this... because you have to go through here? Yes. Weirdly, it didn't allow that. I guess that might have happened in the other area and I just didn't see it. I do love that you can sort of figure out their attacks. Admittedly, they shouldn't be particularly that hard to figure out because they all do the exact same thing, but still. I like that I'm starting to learn their attack patterns and able to like react to them. I didn't need to kill them. There's arguably nothing that mattered about, like, there was nothing there that needed them to be killed. You don't gain XP in this either, really. Which is another interesting thing that I don't think I've seen in anything else. I didn't need to kill that one with that. I think this might be the first MMO I've played where XP isn't a thing. And it seems like it's the first MMO I've played where the max level is blimmin' 20 for one. What is this guy? It's an acolyte with a friend. The friend is just a berserker. I'm listening to the Elden Ring soundtrack in the background. You probably can't hear it because of all the stuff happened. I'm not sure if that baby sound came from the soundtrack or the game. Either way, that was blimmin' freaking scary. Did you hear that? Like, that wasn't in my head, right? The baby crying. It really shocked me. Who is this? Oh, there's a little guy. Hello. Is there an equivalent to this spell in 5th edition? God, they are devastating with the flippin' the sound effects in this. What's the name of this attack? Searing Javelin. Well, there's definitely not a spell in D&D called Searing Javelin. I guess Sunbeam might be the closest. But I think Sunbeam's a continuous beam that you can sort of like ignite every turn to make it do more and more damage. Well, do more damage every time. Well, this is like a one-time thing. I don't want that guy existing. You know what's funny is the other day I listened to I listened to a history of the Scarlet Crusade from World of Warcraft, the Scarlet Crusaders. I think that's what they're called. Very interesting lore that sadly gets hampered by the fact that because they were a very major, well, they were a villain in World of Warcraft for such a long time. That, well, at least for the early bit, that they suffer from I'm a villain so I can't have any wins syndrome. You know? Because goddamn they are cool in concept. Obviously they're an evil organization, there's no denying that, right? I'm not gonna come around going like, they were right. But it's one of those ones where you're like, you can understand where they're coming from. And you could see some of the people maybe under the leaders. Not the leaders. The leaders are, for the most part, like horrendous people. But the people under the leaders, you can understand why they would join this group. This group that's effectively like, we're here to defend against the undead, this horrendous undead. We're paladins of the holy light that defend against the undead. We don't particularly like non-humans, but the reasoning behind it is that like they weren't helping us against the scourge. They've never helped before, so why do we need to, you know, get help from them now, kind of thing? Which I think is like, it's a valid concern, a valid thing to say, honestly. So I don't even need to go to that area. Ow. Ow. Oh, why did they put fire that can interrupt your blimmin' interaction right next to the blimmin' interaction thing? That feels like a bit of a dick move, if I'm being completely honest. Hey, Corruptor. You don't look as scary as I thought you were. Gonna get our mana back. I will say that the fact that they have this whole thing where your mana doesn't get back from basic attacks does mean that you are in a situation a lot of the time like this, where you're just sort of standing in front of the enemy, holding a button, get enough power to just hit him with attacks. And I guess the logic behind the rotation is that you get more of the orbs, and then the orbs give you more. The orbs give you more like more of divinity when you use the blimmin' channel divinity. But I don't know, is it not just better to ignore the basic damage that you get from your basic attacks and instead just hold the channel divinity button?
The spell plague energies are building. We must act quickly.
Why? I just killed them.
You have done Neverwinter a great service. The doctrines of the Order of Blue Fire are pure madness. And believe me, I know that better than most.
I like this one. This one I could take or leave.
With Cenobith dead and the Blue Fire Accordance crippled,
I like the word accordance. Ooh, I've got to use that for an organization at some point.
I dare not go myself.
I wonder what it means. I'm gonna look that up.
Fail in my absence, we would be trapped.
Oh wait, you can't hear it if I do that.
Not be without guidance, however, for I will send a part of my consciousness through the astral plane.
How powerful are you? Jesus, that's incredible. You've made teleportation gates seemingly on your own. And then you've also done this?
Projection in the place called the Mystic Grotto.
Fair enough, Jesus. Right, I'm gonna alt tab because I need to see Cordance meaning. It means confident agreement. Oh, so they're called the Blue Fire Agreement. That's kind of cool, actually. I like that name. I'm gonna definitely use that, but I'm gonna use that at some point for like an organization or something. So this gives me radiant. This gives me burning. I need radiant for this one. No, I need burning for this one. So I'm fine with this. And this one is fine as well. I need both of them to be burning. This one's just the best in my opinion. It's probably not, statistically. But I think it is. Well, that's a thing, actually. Sorry, going back to the powers again. What was this? Divine Glow now generates a full... No. Oh, I took this, didn't I? And then I took the Forge Master thing, this. Forge Master now grants the effect of focused light. Oh, is this making it the target? of magnitude of radiant judgment effect. Oh. But this... Oh no, am I... So I need to get radiant for the Forge Master's Flame. Is that what it's saying? But this one says burning judgment by 100. I think it's still working how it intended. Oh! Thank you, what is that? Super... Oh, I'm not going to be able to say that. One second, let me get to a safe spot, and then I will try my very best to say that name. And probably fail horrendously. I know I just left the safe spot, but that's beside the point. Oh! Now I'm going to try and say two names. Okay, thank you, Super G4 Meher Zero and Trace Spakai? Trace Spike? Trace Spakai? Thank you for the follow. Really appreciate it. I'm sorry about how I say your names though. Ah. Oh, did you see the blooming little flail snail? I love that. It just appearing in the cutscene. Wait, did I get any equipment from that whole thing? I did. Okay, let's see how we look. Okay, I like that look. I think the helmet doesn't really work with it though, sadly. Which is, it's a shame for the combo. I think purples and blues just generally go together though.
You see before you my astral projection. Although I am not truly there, I can see and hear you perfectly.
Sure.
Though I am intangible, I'm aware of all that is going on around my astral projection.
Yeah.
I must act as my hands and legs if we are to continue my studies.
Got it. Cool.
These caves mark the limit of my investigation into the chasm. I have begun to study the unusual crystal formations within these caverns, but relentless attacks by plague-changed creatures drove me to...
But if you're an astral projection, why does that matter?
Certain of these crystals have the power to hold and store spell plague energy.
Let's hold on a second. I'm gonna hold tab to turn this down. Jesus, you need to chill with the sound.
Please gather some crystal samples for me to examine through my astral projection.
Sure, I guess. I just don't understand why your astral projection can get hurt by like stuff in here. I guess they're all magical in some variety, and that's the logic. Gather plague crystals. Okay, I don't see any plague crystals here. Lightning bolt, lightning bolt, lightning bolt, lightning bolt, lightning bolt. Why is there just a fighter in here? Is he like a plague fighter? I guess he looks slightly plagued. But his name is just Fighter. Am I in the right place here? I am. It's just a large area. Ooh, is that a crystal? That thing behind them? That's crystally. I really love the blimmin' huge attack on the huge spear like this. Boom! Such a cool effect. Such a blimmin' cool effect. This is the crystal we're looking for. And this wasn't what I was actually looking at when I was saying it's probably over here. I thought this was it. You know, the much bigger, more like evil looking crystal. When I think of a plague crystal, I don't think of a bright white crystal, you know? I think of like a greenish or like a, you know, like a not clear kind of like loads of like maybe like a greenish with like a black oil going through it, you know? I would think of that as like a plagued crystal would be. Oh, just he's got a horse that produces light where it follows. That's pretty damn fucking cool. There's one. Okay, that one's a bit more purplish. I can understand this one being a plague crystal. No, I had picked up the blooming crystal. You didn't need to do this. We were having a good time. There's a crystal there. There's a crystal there. Die, rogue. Ooh, a quest? Quest! Well, that's weird. Is that like three of my fireballs are in one place for some reason? You know what I should have done? If I thought I wasn't going into a combat and I had all those balls, I should have instantly used the channel divinity to maybe get more divinity. There you are. Hello, good sirs. You know, 10% chance is coming up a lot more than I actually expected. I think it was a 10% chance to get full bar. That was a lot quicker than I expected as well. I guess, and it's probably the same as most quests. It felt a lot shorter. You know what's insane, by the way, before I finish this quest? You see that thing in the top right hand corner? It says 3 of 14. I'm assuming 3 of 14 means you can only do it 14 times in a day. But honestly, based on what I've seen, it kind of feels like you can only fit in 14 a day. Like they physically couldn't have any more. Because when I was looking at... I feel like in these 3-hour stints that I play this game, the vast majority of them, I get like 3, maybe 3 like phrasing of tier, maybe 4.
Ah, very good. Now, if you will just hold them close to my astral projection so that I might have a good look at them.
And like, they get longer every time. You gotta share with the group, with the blooming family here.
Seem to confirm my suspicions that the source of the corruption here in the chasm emanates from the Twisted Fane, the brightly glowing stone that hangs above this region.
I mean, I could have told you that.
It is time to take this investigation to the next level. I am sending my astral projection to that region called the Jagged Approach, which lies beyond the Crystal Caverns.
If you can do this, why haven't you done this more? That's what I don't understand. It's like, you can teleport yourself to that area. Why not do this more and check more areas? If you suspected that this giant glowing rock was the place that was summoning all the corruption, then why not astral projection yourself right next to that giant glowing rock? And then have a look. Like, if the astral projection dies or is in danger, you just end the connection with the spell, right? I feel like that was a thing you could do in 4th edition as well, I imagine. What the heck is that thing?
The very air here is permeated with the essence of madness.
What is madness?
You stand now at the very threshold of the Twisted Fane.
Like, you're saying that it emanates madness, which implies that it emanates something that you physically can quantify. So what is madness?
This is indeed a disturbing development. Foulspawn are gathering in the Jagged Approach in great numbers. From their behavior, it is clear that they have come to venerate the Twisted Fane in a grotesque mockery of a pilgrimage.
It's still it's a
Their
perfectly
gathering is feeding
good
some
pilgrimage.
sort of protective barrier in the Fane, bolstered particularly by those plague-changed moths. If we are to get to the bottom of this, we must gain access to the Twisted Fane and put a stop to the source of the corruption.
Chain
Whatever
enemy.
it may
Ooh,
be.
that might be useful.
Defeat the Maws and enter the Twisted Fane.
That's good as well. First off, though, I think I got myself an icon. Yeah. It's not recommending me use this, though. But the item power's better, so I'm using it. Seek out the dead thieves' secret treasure. Sure. Yeah. Okay. What's my other one? Defeat foul spawn. Ooh, gosh. 3 dudes, one of them being a blimmin' 4-star? That's kind of worrying. Yeah, that restores so much more of my blimmin' thing. So much blimmin' more of my divinity than the normal channel divinity. What am I supposed to be defeating? Plague changed Moors and foul spawn or aberrants. These are oh, I guess these are aberrants. Die! That is a lot of enemies. No, I don't want to kill them that way. Porky, save me! Porky! Porky, save me! Nice, Porky. Nice, Porky. Did I kill the... I don't even remember when I killed the actual witch. I'll be honest, I start panicking as soon as the fight starts. Oh, I gotta kill 3 more plague changed Moors. Which always brings up the point of, like, it's called a plague changed Moor, which implies that at some point this creature inherently is called a Moor without, like, before it gets plague changed, right? What the hell is that? Nope. 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 So that implies what is that creature before it gets plague changed, right? Or is the logic that it is not like a human that gets turned into that, and that's why it's a plague changed that got turned into the Moor variant. Oh, hello. I honestly, it's one of those things that I always come back to. So, I played it in 2018 and got a guy to level 20. Then I played it in 2022 and I got a character to level 20. And then I'm playing it again. But I might go a little bit further than just the base story this time around. So it's weird, I've played a decent amount, but also, like, I've not done anything past the base story on, like, 3 different characters. Right, he's attacking me. Nice, nice. What makes you play this one instead of other MMOs? What, like, attracted you to this game? Because I think it's definitely unique in its own right. But I'm always interested to hear why people chose this one over other MMOs, because, you know, it's not the graphically the best, but it does have its own unique charm to it, and a lot of things that I haven't seen in any other MMO. Boom. Right, where are we going next? Right, before we accept the next quest, which I think I might have run into, this quest might be one of the final quests. But we will do the thief quest we got from that random rogue before we do anything. Well, yeah, we don't need to know about the Cult of the Dragon blooming game. They're not relevant at the moment. Oh, it does take a while to load on my computer. I need to do some checking to see if there's some way of... There's a lot of, like, wasted stuff. A lot of wasted space on my computer that I haven't done a proper, like, clean of it. In the sense of, like, you know, getting rid of loads of things that I'm not playing anymore and stuff, just to see if I can make this run slightly faster. God, this loading is taking a while. I've got a feeling this is going to crash on me. Yeah, I thought so. Do a normal login. I probably should have done a safe login, actually. Oh no, it's perfectly fine. So what's the point here? Oh, we gotta find the source of the corruption. Raiders. Why are they red? Does that mean that they're too powerful for me? Or is that supposed to be that there's like an elite? Maybe the sound went off briefly then. I wonder if that's a me problem or the game problem. I don't feel like my computer would have a problem running this game though. I don't think this is an incredibly high intensive game in terms of like processing power and stuff. I mean, I ran this on my previous computer, so that would make no sense if it wouldn't work on this one. Getting a lot of greens, but I guess they're only uncommon. I guess greens aren't that big of a deal. Wait, I think this build, I say build as if I have like a huge comprehension of what I'm doing here, but like generally the powers I've gone for, I think it gives me a lot more like killing power, but I really use up my my divinity very quickly. Like before I didn't need to like channel divinity much in battle, and now it feels like I have to do it every time, which is worrying, honestly. That, oh, it's a blimmin' intellect devourer. What? There was no blimmin' red thing on where I was. it's. I guess that maybe it was a tapping thing. That's what I should have seen. Right, I got ya. It gets a bit messed up when you're on stairs, I think. It's the height differences. Ooh, is that a purple? Purple seem like they'd be important. Oh, it's just a shard of empowerment. I will say, I don't feel like the enhancement blimmin'... I mentioned it a bit when I was actually on that quest, but the enhancement tutorial didn't really feel like a tutorial. It just felt like, here's here, doing an enhancement. Cool. That's it. It made me I wanted a bit more detail of like how you get the things that you need to enhance, you know? And it didn't go into at all like how I enhance equipment. Maybe it's self-explanatory and that's why they didn't go into it. I have to see. This is weird. This is again is a bit weird that's happened. I feel like before all of the energy balls, all of them would like line up to be evenly distributed. And now it kind of feels like they're always, well, not always, but a vast majority of the time they're like stuck together, which is a bit weird. I mean, it's good that we got a save point in case I die. Because I do feel like it's getting to the point where I might die in one of these boss fights. It hasn't happened yet, but there's been a couple of times where I've needed to, like, back away and heal. Ooh. You're just running at me. I'm not even giving the chance of dodging you. Oh, I wasted that there. I do like that I'm able to very quickly, like, click the Channel Divinity button. If I have, like, one or two of those, like, balls, I can instantly just go, Channel Divinity, get a load, hit them with an attack, kill them. You know, like, it's very quick. Which is good for, like, getting a sudden boost of DPS, right? It does mean that I'm using resources very quickly. Like, that's not a long-term solution, what I'm talking about that right now, but it's a cool, like, short-term, I need to get a bit of damage down. How is that guy not dead? And I love that, like, you can sort of quite easily like line them up so that your line attack does all of them, which I love. God, it feels like maybe I'm wrong in this, but it feels like there is never going to be a situation, even if I'm like really into this game, it feels like there's never going to be a situation where I have no Doom space boxes. Or whatever they're called. Like these things. Like I'd like to know if like a proper experienced Neverwinter person, or like somebody who has been like spends a lot of money on this, if they're ever in a situation where they have none of these boxes. Because like I have, just from casually playing the game, I have 58 of them. Even if the keys cost 20p, like that adds up, right? Instantly want that empowering crystal down. Are they not even looking at me? Go after Porky. Yeah, go after Porky. Sure. This might be a mistake. This might have been a mistake. Oh, this might have been a mistake. This might have been a mistake. Porky, where are you? Porky. Oh, it's summoned a boss. Oh, that was the worst mistake I've made. Why did I think that these guys would just die? Oh no, oh no. You know what? I have to just spend my time clearing out these enemies, and whenever I can, getting a bit of channel divinity in. Because if I don't, they're just gonna overwhelm me. Oh, more of them are being spawned. This is bullshit. This is my own fault, though. It's the consequences of my own actions. Let me do my skating. Okay, I must be thinning out the herd, right? Right? Oh, why am I on the fire? Get off the fire. Wait, where is the big bad? Oh, that's the big bad. He's not that much bigger or badder than the blimmin' enemies. Oh, is the logic that he summons more of his boys? Okay, now I'm back in it. Hit him with the sword. The good thing that these bosses have pretty simplistic patterns. Because they're, you know, they're not meant for the best of the best. Or else I would definitely have lost. Boom. He didn't drop anything. That's annoying. What did I do? Oh, I accidentally used a blessing. Oh well. That's probably fine, right? I don't really know what I even do.
The very air here is permeated with the essence of madness.
Okay, but I killed the corruption.
You destroyed the Eye of Blue Fire. I felt a shift in the chaotic energies moments ago while you were still in the Twisted Vein. I believe your efforts have put a stop to the evil that was taking place here. Excellent work, adventurer.
No worries, mate.
Thanks to your heroic efforts here in the chasm, the people of Neverwinter are safe, and my research into the spell plague may proceed. Furthermore, you have inspired the members of Scar Company to continue their fight.
I mean, I'm surely they were always going to continue their fight.
To Sergeant Knox. He will certainly want to know what we have discovered here.
I don't like how they immediately want to get rid of me as soon as I've done my job, you know? Map, where is the No Honor Among Thieves one? This one? Yeah, I want that one. I want to do this one. It's over here. Wait, is it going to be near that eye that I saw? That big eye? Where? It's here? Oh yeah, it is here. Fair enough. God, the single target attack does a lot of damage. But it does use a lot of the blimmin' stuff. No wonder he couldn't get it. It was guarded by blimmin' mold and stuff. I don't blame the rogue for not being able to actually get his stuff back. Although he did seem to be working with these guys, so he could have got his stuff back. He could have also used those potions when he was blimmin' fighting me. Because he went down really quickly. I didn't think he was like some sort of special enemy. It didn't feel like it at the very least. But I feel like this area might have been shorter than the other areas. Like, I could be completely wrong, but it felt like that. It felt like in the previous one, it was like you did a couple quests, you went to a different area, and you did another couple quests, and you went to a different area, and you did a final set of quests, and then you were done, right? This one felt like there wasn't any of the... There wasn't the middle area. I wish I could sell half of this equipment. I know they asked me, hey, do you want to sell this equipment? You want to bind this equipment to yourself or not? And I said, I didn't mind. But like, it's insane. I understand you bind it to your character so that like it's stuck with you and you can't sell it anymore, right? I can understand that. What I don't understand is why, when you're selling it to a trader who no one else can have access to the stuff you trade to it, why it doesn't just go... It doesn't just go, okay, it's fine for you to... It's fine for you to sell to them, right? If anyone knows, is there any way of mass like refining stuff? Because this whole thing of just refining one by one feels like a massive like waste of time. And I'd love to know if there's a way of me doing this quicker. Or whether I'm actually supposed to be doing that. My thinking is, like, I don't need them if I've already used them. So that's why I'm not keeping them. And I shouldn't be doing any refinement or enhancements until at least I hit level 20. Because as soon as I hit level 20, like, what matters then is item power. It's my thinking. Based on knowledge I've gained from, like, watching other MMOs and stuff. Once you hit level cap, most of the time item power is king, right?
Protector's Enclave needs your help.
Sure.
I'll be honest with you. If it were up to me, we'd be doing a lot more to help out Scar Company. Unfortunately, the powers that be seem to think of Captain Markath and his command as expendable. It's a damn shame, but it sounds like you did your part and more down there. Fine work.
No worries. I'm glad that you did mention that, because I was slightly worrying that you were one of the problem.
Listen, it is time for you to learn about some very old and powerful magic items. Artifacts. You should visit Tarhan Delmarev. He has learned the resting place of some of these artifacts, and he's afraid that other less desirable researchers may learn the same. Personally, I'd rather have you holding a powerful item than some red wizard or cultist.
No, that's fair. Okay, I had a quick look at those, and I'm not 100% sure which one I'd want. One of them seems pretty cool. This whole shtick being like...
Greetings.
It like summons a shop for me to
You have
sell.
the look of one who is full of questions.
It allows me to summon like a shopkeep to sell my stuff to.
Ah, yes. I have been waiting for you. I have learned the location of a cache of valuable artifacts hidden long ago. According to my sources, they were hidden deep within the Forgotten Vault. Recovering these artifacts will be no trivial matter. Their former owner was an accomplished wizard who was no friend of Neverwinter, and he is certain to have prepared a secure resting place for his prized possessions.
But why would he care? He's already
You can
dead.
Expect formidable guardians as well. Lastly, the artifacts are stored within a magically sealed casket. The defenders of Neverwinter are in need of artifacts like these. If you recover the casket,
Sorry about that.
Do this, and one of the artifacts within will be yours to keep.
Okay, so I'm raiding... I guess I am an adventurer, so raiding a blimmin' keep doesn't feel too weird. But... this feels like I'm raiding his, like... his grave at this point. What do you mean I'm out of sight? I think they've sent me to their death. I think I've been too powerful, and that's why they're trying to kill me. Why did I jump in front of it? Did you? No, you didn't beat Porky. Porky's fine. I think I'm just gonna sit here and heal. Because I wonder if killing you would start the next round. No? Cool. He gave his undead companions a lot of gold for them to use on nothing, I guess. Maybe when they die, they're able to go down the river Styx because of that? I don't know. Also, how does this work? Am I in like an endless expanse of... is this like an alternate dimension or something? Not only does he have like undead on it in his like control, he also has a masterwork iron golem, like 3 of them. As I say that, these ones don't seem as impressive as the big guy. They like shoot fire, and that seems to be it. Like, it's not that impressive. I'm guessing the artifact goes in this slot here, the 3 slot. Okay, what's going to be summoned for me to fight? Devils? That's worrying. God, this dude was very powerful then. What the... that doesn't seem fair. Who said to them that I could beat a blimmin' storm troop? What is that? A shock troop devil? Never even heard of one of these things before. Even though I've never heard of them, I know I can't beat one of them. That was a wrong attack. Thank God. I feel like I'm like a Forge cleric with what I've chosen as abilities. Mainly the ability that's called like Forge Flame is the one that sort of cements that. Oh, hello. Oh, how are you doing? I've been good, thanks. I've been good. How are you? Good, 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 good. Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's been a couple of weeks, right? But that reminds me, I got myself, I've ordered the camera that I'm going to use to show myself. I ordered it literally today, which is huge. Yeah, it's been going pretty good. It's been going pretty good. I think Neverwinter, the game I'm playing right now, got a very nice community that seemed to be really helpful. So playing this game and meeting some of the community has been really good.
One day some cursed Ogmanite would discover the secret of this forgotten vault and challenge me for possession of the Cragmire family's greatest treasures. By besting my guardians,
I don't know the answers to this.
your power. Let us now test your
knowledge. Yeah, I've ordered the camera. I ordered it today.
What was responsible for the destruction of the illustrious noble house of Cragmire?
Oh, noble house of Cragmire. Magical plague? Nope, it wasn't a magical plague. It wasn't a magical plague. But yeah, I ordered it today. It wasn't cheap, I'll tell you that much. But I wanted to get good quality, just on the just because, like, even if I don't use it, like, even if the streaming thing doesn't go through, at the very least I have something there that, like I could use that for, like, meetings and stuff, you know, like interviews and stuff. But there is a use for it after, you know, there is a use for it even if I stop streaming. At least that's my thinking. But I said I've been reading all of these blimmin' lore things, and yet I still haven't figured out the lore of Quagmire or whatever. I guess it was bandits, because I don't feel like the noble house would have been done in by the Neverwinter people. Unless they were evil, I guess. Yeah, it's not supposed to be targeted at you. This was in there for a long period of time. It's the bots, you know, the people that are like, hey, I randomly appeared on your stream and I have this and this and this, and then, yeah, cool. I didn't want you, because you're literally the nicest person that's tried to, like, offer for this stuff before. You're not like those bots.
This is indeed the coffer I asked you to find. I have performed a ritual that grants me the power to open these magically sealed containers.
It was a lot worse when I first started, honestly.
Behold these.
Yeah, I choose with care. It was a lot worse. It's true, mate. It was like,
if you have any questions, please let me know.
There is a lot of people that have been very pushy with it, to the point where, like, one of my friends has had to come in and go, like, hey mate, he doesn't want anything, and you were completely understanding, honestly. About the whole thing. Should I go for this? This one seems decent. Find hidden target. But yeah, it's a lot better now than it was when I started though. When I started, it was every blimmin' day. Every, like, I'd have like 2 or 3 of them every stream that would just be obviously just a bot.
Greetings, adventurer. Are you looking to purchase something?
And specifically, they'd be really... It would either be a bot or it'd be somebody incredibly rude that would say the exact same phrases that you'd expect from, like, a bot, right? So they'd just be like, hey... They'd say hey, and then you'd respond. And then the next line would just be, here's a bunch of overlays. And then you would say no, and they would just disappear. And it was, you know, it was so impersonal of them.
Mounts are an important part of any adventurer's kit, especially when outfitted with insignias to boost your effectiveness. I would like you to demonstrate your skill in upgrading a mount insignia. If you have any
to
do so, simply take this wooden insignia, upgrade it, and return it to me.
Fine, sure. Yeah, I think it's that they're just, you know, they're emotionless because they're just robots, right? And so they just can come across as like,
let us see how you have.
It can come across as quite mean when some of the things they say.
This is adequate work and will make a great paperweight for Tarhin and I. As you have proven yourself capable, please take this as a token of your accomplishment. Please let me know.
Let's have a look at my mount. Yeah, some of them got really on my nerves. No bonuses. This one gives a bonus. Nice.
With your new knowledge of artifacts and mounts, you will be well equipped to deal.
Tell you what's been worse though.
Have you heard of the Guild of Underdark Guides? They're a group that specializes
I'll
in
say it
leading
after this guy stops
expeditions into
talking.
the sprawling underground realm known as the Underdark.
Yeah,
Word
Underdark.
is, they've put out a call for adventurers to help them in
Call
the
us a
area
guy
they call
named-
the
okay.
North Dark. Sounds right up your alley, doesn't it? You might want to check it out. The call came from a guide named Davin Hoth. He's the man you should look for.
So what's the worst recently has been, there's been a couple of people that have come into the chat and they've obviously been bots, and it's not been them selling overlays like normal. It's instead them selling like quite, I don't really understand what they're selling, like 18 plus. It's either they're selling an 18 plus stream or they're selling like they're trying to get you to click a link effectively by saying that they're like a sexy lady or something, and it's horrendous. I just have to ban them every time they put it. I'm really not sure what I need, but like power seems decent. What do I need for my mount? But yeah, those have been the worst at this point. They're the worst blimmin' things I've seen. Illuminated. Magisters. I want the Enlightened insignia. Yeah, well, I mean, you know what's even worse? Is a lot of the time, the art they're trying to sell you isn't even their art. It's art that they've just like stolen. You know, they've just copied and pasted or like taken a screenshot of art that somebody else has made. and then they're trying to sell it to you. Like I've heard of people that have bought the art thinking it was like they've been like, okay, this is the, you know, it's obviously a bot, but I've bought this art and this art's pretty decent. And then they've had people come into their stream like, why are you using my art? I didn't give you the ability, you know, the permission to use this art. And then none of the, no, either side of them, both of the sides aren't like, neither of them are in the wrong. It's just that both of them have been tricked by a blimmin' AI that's gone away, that, you know, that's taken that like £20 or whatever, however much they spent on the blimmin' art. And they've, you know, they've run away with it. You can't get any of the money back. The amount of people I hear that get like scammed on blimmin' on X are definitely, like on Twitter, the amount of people that get scammed by people who sell other people's art it's insane. It makes me feel a bit sad because it means that whenever somebody messages me on Twitter, I just automatically assume that they're going to... I automatically assume that they are doing that, but they are bots and they're trying to trick me. And so I've just sort of... Because I don't think of myself smart enough to not be tricked by them, I just don't answer messages. Yeah, I know, it happens to everybody. Well, it's... The bots are everywhere. It's insane. And there's not really much they can do to stop it. Because as soon as they put something in place, as soon as they put like some program in place to stop bots, they find a way around it. Because some of the smartest programmers in the world will be using it for bad. They'll be using it for blimmin' bot making, and it's stupid. It's really, really stupid. Right, give me a second. I'm just going to do some tech stuff. I need to do some sound checks just in a second. So I'm just going to pause. Just want to check my voice. Yeah, I sound good. Cool. I was getting a bit worried because of the Streamlabs.
The Underdark has a million ways to kill the unprepared. Most of them are quite gruesome.
Jesus, okay, nice to meet you too.
You're here to help? No one from the surface knows the North
The
Dark
voice
like
has
the Guild
changed.
of Underdark guys.
The voice you
But
were
when
using
we run
before was
into real
different.
trouble, we usually call in some serious muscle. Namely, experienced adventurers like you.
Yeah,
The Drow took many
thank
of
you.
our guides captive recently, so we're doing everything
I'm one of
we
those
can
people that
to get them
instinctively
back.
says sorry. It's just part
Perhaps
of
you
me.
can help with our preparations.
No, I'm not. It's not my voice as in my voice, like how I sound. It's more I wanted to check if the volume was correct. Yeah, don't worry.
The
I've
area
come to
called
terms
the
with my
Verdant Caves
voice.
is like an oasis in the midst of a desert.
I've come to
Those
terms
who
with
venture
that.
into the Underdark. Waves of wizard fire found there provide enough light to sustain lush plant growth. That's why we chose this area for our base of operations, despite the presence of an abandoned Drow settlement nearby. Unfortunately,
Even though
the
sometimes
Drow
I don't
returned
believe it is my
and
voice.
captured some of our scouts.
You know, it sounds so
We're
different
working on a plan to save our
when
imprisoned
you
comrades.
like when you're hearing your
If
voice
you can
compared to
find
when you
keys
hear
to
it
the holding cells
like
on the Drow hunting
you
in
hear
the
it
area,
recorded.
we'll have a real shot at saving my people.
Like, I'm convinced, like, to me, I sound a lot deeper than I actually sound on the recording, which is like, it's always insane to see.
The whole camp is working together to prepare for freeing our captured guides. I believe our ranger Megan Eraru needs the aid of an adventurer able to stand up to the Drow. She's trying to gather some particular kind of berry from the verdant caves. You should speak with her.
Gotta admit, the name Megan in this world of fantasy stuff feels a bit out of place. Not against it. Weird. Okay. See ya. Thanks for visiting. Yeah, sure. See ya. Bye. You too. You too, mate. Beat some drow up. Always nice when someone comes back. Ooh, a cell key. Oh, we need that. That's the thing we're getting. I thought it was a key to the blimmin' doom space thing. I swear when I played this game and I was playing a drow, there was like a special mission that I could do because of my race. Maybe I'm completely wrong and that's just not a thing, or maybe it's only true for certain stuff. Okay, how was the guy that was twice that spiderling size also called a spiderling? And this thing that was seemingly the same size as the thing called a spiderling is a bladed spider. It's completely different. I guess maybe that's the equipment that was added onto it. It could be that. I think I need to double click it whenever I try that. I think double clicking it just to make sure that it goes through, because it does the sound but it doesn't actually acknowledge that I've pressed the button. But I need to find more drow. Where are the drow? That's a drider. I don't need to kill that yet. That's good. Loads of small drow. I think they've made it. The one thing that they should really add to this is they really need to add the ability to choose the construct race or the warforged race, because goddamn is that a cool race, and the fact you can't play it is really annoying. I absolutely love Warforged. I would play Warforged almost every time if I could. They're just hard to put into campaigns, though.
With these keys, we should be able to save every one of my men.
You didn't want me to
You've also proven
unlock
you have
them?
what it takes to survive in the Underdark. Nice work, adventurer.
You didn't want me to unlock the cages as well? No? Okay. I mean, I'm a big fan of having less work to do, so I'm fine with that. Hey,
I never
Megan.
thought I'd end up in charge of provisions and medicinal herbs when I joined the guides. But I
I'm
was a
surprised
ranger
the
for several
human
years on
is
the
considered
surface.
a good
We're going to
person
need
in the,
supplies to treat
like
and
a
feed
leader
the
in the
prisoners
bloomin'
once you and
Underdark.
the guides have saved them.
Surely the lack of
When we
dark
found the
vision is a
verdant
huge
caves,
problem.
I planted a whole lot of bitter berries then. They're ready to harvest, but the drow in the area are preventing me from gathering my crop. Please, gather as many as you can so we can care for the prisoners.
Why did you plant specifically bitter berries when you could have planted non-bitter berries? If they're for our guys, why would you... Unless you mean prisoners that you have. What am I looking for? These things. Got it. At least I know what I'm looking for now. But yes, as I mentioned previously, I have bought myself a camera, and I will be... I don't know when, and that's why I'm being a bit like iffy about it, but at some point I will be doing like a longer stream as kind of like a special event for me showing my face. I don't think it's a big deal really, but like it gives me an excuse to stream for longer, right? And also, like, it's probably going to be Rogue Trader, because that's my favourite game to watch, to play at this point. Like, this is slowly making itself up the ranks of games I like to play. But I think top is still Rogue Trader. I honestly wouldn't be surprised that, like, whenever this whole streaming journey ends for me, because, I mean, eventually it will end, right? Even if I become successful at it, right? Eventually, like, it'll stop. But whenever it ends, I wouldn't be surprised if in my top maybe 5 at that point, Rogue Trader is there. Maybe even, like, top 3, honestly. I think it'd be very likely, just because it felt like the perfect stream game to sort of start out with. So, like, long watchers will know that I started out reviewing the D&D classes, like my opinion on the D&D classes and what I felt like sort of just in general with them. I went through all of that, and that was really, really fun. I think one of the big things with that was really good is that when you're reviewing D&D classes, you've very much got a situation where you always have something to talk about, right? It's not a situation where you've got to think about, like, oh, how do I be entertaining? It's like, no, there is literally this thing that you're talking about that you can always fall back on as, like, okay, well, you don't have anything to talk about here. That's fine. You can just move on to the next thing, right? You couldn't have waited a couple seconds, could you? You couldn't have waited a couple seconds. I would have shown you mercy, you know? You would have had mercy. And now you have death. But do I have to find 8 of these? Jesus, I've only found like 3. I thought I've been doing pretty well. But yeah, that was the best sort of starter one. And then Rogue Trader, I think, what I think is so good about it is it felt like a very good intermediate one, where it's like, you've always got the story and the narration to sort of carry you through trying to be entertaining, right? It's always that sort of crutch that allows you to fall back on when you're like, you're not really sure what to say. And then you still have that freedom there of like, oh well, but and then I can always fall back on that, but also I have enough space here that it's not just me talking about that, you know? Because that's the thing when you're reviewing something. There's not a lot of time to sort of answer about stuff that isn't what you're talking about, right? Whereas there is a bit more time when you're playing some like an RPG, because there's always going to be that time where you're fighting or you're moving, you know. There's one there. We need to do it. Okay, it's now me and you. I've always wondered if Driders, I assume they would have the magical powers that they had when they were like mortal, right? Or else they'd be significantly weaker. There's no real point in doing that. I always liked the concept of like, as like a blessing or potentially a curse, giving like a wizard or a magic caster that's generally quite weak just an incredibly powerful body, so that they can sort of defend themselves. You see it a lot in stuff where it's like, because it's always that thing of like, I'm a wizard, but like I don't want to have the situation where I always have to be guarded by people, right? And so they want to be able to defend themselves, and there's many ways they go about it. Like, one of the most common ways is through summons, right? Through contracted or like through some form of like either contracted spirits of some kind, or through like animated golems of some variety. Like, they'll come up with a way of defending themselves that way. And then this is the sort of like the less common but the equally fun way in which they go about like shoring up that weakness, which is the, oh, but like I could just make myself physically strong so that I can take the hits myself. And then there's loads of, you know, upsides and downsides to it. Like, for example, a lot of the time when they go you go the whole summoning route, you find yourself in a situation where a lot of the time, and this is dependent on the world, right? But I'm talking in general here. The downside is that it's normally tied to you, and so if they deal with you,
looks like you've brought plenty of bitter berries for the camp. I know Megan
they just you just
bring them
win,
to her,
right?
So you can get started on our next task.
If you're in a situation where your summons are dealing with a bunch of enemies and another one gets to you,
we were camped in the abandoned settlement of
you're screwed.
They weren't happy that we were staying in their old city. Several of us managed to escape thanks to the quick thinking of our leader, Mandrake Deepwise. But others, including Mandrake,
that's a really cool
are still
name.
Unaccounted for.
I'm gonna put.
I have to believe that they're still alive in the Drow.
I've got to put that, note that down somewhere as like a cool fucking name to give like enemies and or like potentially a character. Mandrake.
I'm counting on you, adventurer. We need to find Mandrake and save everyone we can.
Sure. So yeah, and you wouldn't have a situation where you're caught with your summons, like with your defense not being there if you do go the other route, right? Of like making yourself physically strong. The problem with that one generally is because you focused in magical ability, you're not going to be that good at physical ability. It's just a law of like, it's just the whole thing of like, you can only work on, you know, so many things at once, right? So you got a situation there where it's like, you're gonna be sure you're gonna be physically powerful and you're never gonna be without it, but in general you're gonna be in a situation where your defenses are a lot weaker unless you spend all that time training. But if you're not spending that time training, you're not spending that time. I let you go. Move. You're not spending that time expanding your magical knowledge, so you might fall behind there. You know? It's an interesting situation of like seeing what people do in that situation. So a lot of the time, if you go the summoning route, they innately have ability that you don't have because you've been focusing on the magic route, right? I've always been a fond of magic, like being the mage, just because you know, normally there's just a lot more cooler stuff you can do with it, really. And especially in, I've talked about this before, but I always gravitate towards priests or clerics because it's something that you can work on, you can use to... It's something you can use to sort of mold your character. Like, if there's a cool set of tenets that you want your character to like live by, you've got yourself half of a character there. Or at least a decent skeleton of a character. Now, obviously, you don't just leave it as they're a worshipper of this religion and that's it. You obviously have to do a lot more than just that. They said it! They said when there's a whip, there's a way. Oh, that's a reference to a blimmin' old cartoon. I think it's like a Dark Crystal cartoon. Where there's like... You know, I don't know too much about Dark Crystal, but there's a bunch of vulture-headed people. I think they're called like the Skeksis or something, and they have like an evil empire, and they say the whole thing of like, when there's a whip, there's a way kind of thing. So it's really cool to see them reference that. I wonder if Dark Crystal is owned by WotC. I wouldn't be too surprised if it was.
The prisoners made it back, and every one of them is singing your praises. From their ordeal. From what they've told me, Mandrake was moved to another
No, not Mandrake.
The Zolaran outpost. That's our next target.
Okay. You know what? It's weird. It doesn't happen often, but it's happening now. Where I think my voice is going through okay, and I don't think there's any problems with that. But it's saying on the little mic thing that goes up whenever something happens is horrendously, like, laggy. Like, I'll say something, and then it'll be a second, and then it'll appear on this thing.
I'd hope Mandrake Digwise will be amongst the prisoners you rescued. Mandrake is something of a legend in the guild. Normally, I'd say it's a shame to lose another guide and get over it. But Mandrake, he doesn't get taken without a fight. The drow must know his value. If I were them, I'd take him for interrogation. Invade the Zolaran outpost, kill any drow that's standing your way, and bring Mandrake Digwise back to us.
Celestial Prominence. I don't think I use either of them. Unless, is this Celestial Prominence? It is. Well, then I want Flame Strike. I'm going full flames. We're a flame boy. Well, girl. I don't know if this is... I mean, I don't know if the full flame build's gonna really work, but I've got it. Because I like the flame part of it more than the holy part of it. Which is actually weird, because normally I gravitate to the holy part. But I have wanted to play a Forge Cleric in D&D before. And so, this is probably the closest I'll get, because I actually just as much as I want to play a Forge Cleric in narrative, the abilities are kind of boring. Well, not boring, I just don't think I'd be able to use them very well, you know? I always worry I talk too fast, but there's nothing I can do about it, because when I get really into something, I just start talking fast. You know? Why did I use that? I have a single target attack. Come on. Come on. Get it together, Jack. Get it together. Yeah, there was a part of me that was like, when I started this, that was like, you know what, I'm gonna hide my name. And then I realized that I talk down to myself so much and I say my name. I don't think I could get rid of that. And so I just decided, fuck it. Ooh, scroll. Ooh, boots. Healer infiltrating boots. Interesting. I will be playing, by the way, the Final Fantasy XIV expansion when it comes out, by the way. Because I quite like the game. Like, it's not my favourite game, but it's definitely up there. It's not my favourite MMO either, but it's definitely like one of them. Weirdly, even though it's like not that big of an MMO, I think my favorite MMO is Star Wars: The Old Republic, because God is that blimmin' story pretty damn good. Even if you don't like MMOs, I would strongly suggest just playing the story and like ignoring everyone else. Don't care about them. And just play that and have cool times with like your companions and stuff, honestly. Play it evil, play it good, either way you get cool stuff. I've heard the DLCs, the expansions aren't that bad, honestly. I never thought to put money into it. That might actually be a game we play at some point on this. I was thinking that assuming I was thinking of like what to turn Fridays into, because I kind of like only having like a one thing scheduled a week that is like I just play whatever I want. Having two feels like a bit much. So I was thinking about like, okay, what to turn this into. And I might call it like MMO Fridays or something. And just have it where the whole point of it is we just play an MMO that I want to play at that point, whether it's, you know, whether it's the game I'm playing now, you know, Neverwinter, or whether it's, you know, Final Fantasy XIV when that comes out, or whether it's, you know, maybe something else, maybe Guild Wars 2, maybe Knights of the Old Republic or something. I think it'd be a cool idea. And there's a fair amount of them that are still around, even though I don't think they're considered incredibly profitable at this point. I wonder if that League of Legends one is still going around. Last thing I remember about it was like the director. I think the director of it had to step down because of family trouble. And so they had to get themselves like a new like head of it, new CEO of it. But like surely with the rise of popularity of like Arcane and stuff, you would have thought they would be putting a lot of effort into making like an MMO that gives you that feel of like being in that dingy sort of like, I forget what it's called, like the place that specifically Jinx is from, like the lower city. but like getting that working well, and then getting some of the other areas well as well. But I feel like that area is the place that's by far going to be the most popular, just because of, you know, people wanting to sort of play as if they are, or play, you know, as an ally of Bloomin' Jinx. Or I guess maybe an enemy. I guess there could be people that just don't really like her and therefore want to play as if play as somebody who captures her, or, you know, tries to redeem her in some capacity. Because she is evil. Like, I love the character, but she's objectively evil. She's troubled, sure, but like, still evil. So the same thing I felt about, like, you know, Harley Quinn and like a lot of it, the newer stuff that they have Harley Quinn in, where they play her off as like, they sort of play her off as like this lovable anti-hero that used to be quite evil, but she was still evil. Even if she's like turned over a new leaf now and is like a bit more of an anti-hero that works occasionally with like Batman and stuff. At the end of the day, like, don't kid yourself into thinking that she wasn't horrendously evil and it was like implicit in a lot of horrendous stuff happening, right? I see Jinx in a very similar light, except I imagine she's never going to be on the quote-unquote good side, you know? Relagnog Exorian. Well, Relagnog Exorian. What do you mean I'm far too late? Oh shit, he's the Emperor. He's a blimmin' Emperor. He's got two blades, like I'm pretty sure the Emperor used. He casts lightning. His guards aren't red, so that's sort of where the comparisons end. But luckily, he keeps putting himself into situations where I can very easily like get attacks on him. One of my friends was suggesting that I give Jedi, what's it called? The Jedi game that is like a Dark Souls game a try. I'm not sure the problem I have with that one is I'm not sure if I'm good enough.
Don't let me out! They did something to me! Put something in my head!
It doesn't sound like a legend.
I kept it together in case someone came looking for me, but I'm as good as dead! Oh, heed this warning. The Drow are working with the Mind Flayers on some kind of plan. Oh, listen, I managed to take some poison off the guards. I'm going to end it on my own terms. But you need to get out of here and warn the others, and don't look back!
That is not the voice I would give him, but I guess I know why he's called Mandrake now, because that was ear-piercing. That was an ear-piercing blimmin' sound. So that makes complete sense why he's blimmin' called Mandrake. That is kind of funny, actually, the more I think about it. He's called Mandrake, like, because of his horrendously squeaky voice. Yeah, you know what? I like that.
The Underdark has a million ways to kill the unprepared. Most of them are quite
Okay,
gruesome.
listen to that voice, and now this voice.
I can't believe it.
It
is lost to us. But we'll heed his warning. If the Drow are working with the Illithids, we have to find out more. And I think I know just the person to help you investigate further.
Is it an Illithid?
The
I'd love to meet a
presence
good
of an
Illithid.
Illithid, a Mind Flayer. in a drow settlement bodes no good for anyone.
Yeah,
We
makes
already
sense.
know the drow are receiving weapons from the Duragar who work the nearby mines.
Yeah, probably
Normally
because
the
of the
drow
slaves.
do not see the Duragar as fit for anything but slavery, but I begin to suspect the Grey Dwarves are already
They are quite
enslaved
susceptible
to, an
to
even more
mind flayer
deadly
magic.
foe. We have guides keeping watch over the Duragar mines. Make your way there and look for Jasper Steele. He'll fill you in on anything he's learned.
Got it. Jasper Steele, here I come. Oh, actually, before I do that, increase my ability score. I think it's just these two, right? And I think I want burning thing. I think I want to upgrade my flame strike. Admittedly, I don't feel like I use it too much. But I will give it a try now, because the damage over time might, if I can keep him in the fire, might actually be better than just a single target damage. Oh, I should probably wear that. I forgot that I had equipment better. Cool. Cool, 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 cool.
Don't pity the Durgar. Sure, they're slaves, but even free, they're filled with hate.
That's a bit mean. Don't generalize a whole race.
Dabbling sending reinforcements, huh? Well, good. Events down here just keep getting more and more interesting.
You sound like the generic Malice Darkblade looking guy who's edgy and stays in the corner and is like, I work alone, but I have to work with you guys because literally we're a party.
The Drow are receiving Durgar-made weapons in exchange for guarding the entrance to the mines. Seems like House Solaren is trying to rebuild its strength after their failed attack on the surface world.
Yeah, they got a
Durgar
problem
weapons
where
and armor will go a long
sunlight
way toward
screws them
accomplishing
over.
that goal. The Drow have sent some of their high-ranking priestesses to handle the details of the payment and oversee the transfer. I'd like you to bust up these meetings and make sure the participants don't live to tell the tale.
Sure. What would you like?
Imagine what some real dwarves could make of this place. The Durgar mining and foraging operations are going full tilt. That's bad news for the guild and for the surface world. The raw ore's coming from deep shafts down below, and the Durgar have built a batch of cranes to help them lift it to these levels. Well, at those cranes, the ore will have to be hauled up on the backs of the miners. It'll mean a big hit to their efficiency. All you really have to do is destroy the winching mechanism that operates the crane, and you send the whole thing crashing down to the bottom of the pit.
They were like, do a dwarven accent, and you went, yes. 100%. I'll give 100% to it. Love him. 10 out of 10. Yeah, let's kill you. But they're making a deal with the Draugr? That doesn't make any sense. I guess maybe they're brokering a deal because they physically need this stuff. I guess. But they would just enslave these people. Or maybe the deal's between the mind flayers. Yeah, it's probably between the mind flayers that have these servants. And the drow that want the ore. God. Okay, we don't need to okay, maybe I need to be calming down. I don't see the health in this thing though. But it's dead, at the very least. What else do we have to kill? Just priestesses. And warriors. And thralls. That's not that hard. I think I'm getting too reliant on just spamming the abilities that cost divinity. I think that's my problem. I think that's the thing that I need to be working on, is realizing that I have a limited amount of divinity and it's quite hard to get back. So instead I need to be, you know, mixing in basic attacks a lot more. That's my thinking at the very least. It's not to say that I'm actually going to do it, because as you can see right here, I'm going to completely ignore half of the things I say a lot of the time. But it sounds like I know what I'm saying when I say it. But these Dwarga are like surprisingly tanky. And as I'm saying that, I'm like, wait, no, they're dwarves. Even if they're like Underdark dwarves, and they're like quote unquote like evil dwarfs, they're still dwarfs. Like the Mind Flayer. I do love how generally like a Mind Flayer's attacks, no matter which game you're in, they're almost exactly the same. It's Brain Blast, the Jimmy Neutron Brain Blast. And then like, what do I need to destroy? A bunch of Drow warriors? It's the Jimmy Neutron Brain Blast, and then occasionally it's Attack with Tentacle. And obviously just generic magic stuff, but like... none of you will... Oh, there's that Drow warrior there. I need to rebind the blooming button. Just so that I have more that I can like... I can easily hit it and not keep hitting caps lock. I'm really lucky that they didn't put something on caps lock that's like important. You know? Can you imagine if they put like... your ultimate ability also on caps lock? Hey! I didn't ask to fight you. I was getting ready to deal with those guys. Now I've got to get all my divinity back. You know how much praying that takes? Honestly, I don't... None. Almost nothing. Wait. Oh no, it's not dead yet. That's why. I was like, what? It wasn't giving me anything for that? That's got to be the last one. Oh, so the infiltrators... Oh, it's a Mind Flayer infiltrator. I've never seen like a rogue, but it's a Mind Flayer before. I don't know if I understand it. From what I gather, Mind Flayers are generally quite like magically attuned. So is the logic that they use their magic attunement to, I guess, I did it again, I hit 6, didn't I? No, I hit my bomb, that's what happened. So is the logic that they use their psychic attunement to, I guess, use invisibility and like empower their daggers psychically? I guess there was a psychic rogue already as a subclass, so that's not too weird.
That's news to brighten my day. With any luck, the Drow will blame their missing emissaries on Durgar treachery.
They wouldn't do that.
Suspicion rules the day with those two races. Now we should see about busting up another partnership.
Are you potentially talking about the Mind Flayer partnership?
Good for you taking out those crates. You'll do the Durgar good to pick a heavy load up a few thousand feet of twisted tunnels. Oh, I wish I could have been there, seen the looks on their faces when the lift platforms came crashing down.
I do wonder how much I've actually done damage-wise.
My sister has a real unflinching hatred of the Durgar. But I have to admit they still have the dwarven knack for working with. That's why the Drow have made a deal with them.
Yeah, I'm surprised about that as well.
Weapons and armor the Grey Dwarves can provide. We're gonna need to better equip the guild if we'll be taking on the Karadak. Blasted squids. If you gather up some of the weapon components and
Karadak.
alloys
I've
the
never
Durgar
heard that
are turning
before.
up,
Is that the name
I'll
of the
see that you're rewarded
the
for
dwarven
it.
name for mind flayers?
You'll likely find the components near forges in the Crucible, and some of the Durgar are sure to be carrying them as well.
That's kind of cool. I like how they weave in little bits like that.
Poor Mandrake's revelation about Mind Flayer involvement confirms a report I got from Holly Tinkerstone, one of our scouts. She claimed that squid-headed monsters were overseeing
So
the
you already knew
Durgar
it?
operation in the
You
Crucible.
already knew it?
Maybe you should head over there and bring down a Mind Flayer overseer. With any luck, we can nip this plot in the bud.
Sure. Is there a game where, like, you're playing an RPG like normal, but like a lot of the sort of like quest givers actually provide you with, you know, like actual equipment that can help you, complete said mission, or like allies to help you complete said mission? They don't just send you off blindly without anything to help you with the task. Because that would be an interesting game to play. Like, what if the NPCs were sort of competent? You know? I know it's the whole point, it's like, oh, at the end of the day, you're the main character. So you're supposed to do all this stuff. It'd be interesting to see what would have happened if you just make the blimmin' NPCs competent. Okay. Weapon components. Alloy samples, you get those from blacksmith. Oh, I didn't get one from the blacksmith I killed. I feel like getting the alloys are going to be a lot harder than getting the things from the guards. A bit weird that the guards almost exclusively are throwing stuff. They have a humongous hammer and they're instead using like what seems to be like a rock that they're throwing or something. I mean, I sort of expected there to be so many things that you could pick up off the floor when it said I need to get 10 of them. But I'm glad they are being that generous with them. Is there another forge around here that I could use? I could steal from? No? I can kill you, dudes. Why is the Master Smith mining? That's another thing that's a bit weird. Okay, let's just get these things out of the way. Maybe that all of the stuff over there will respawn, but I imagine I'd have to wait until the actual enemies also respawn before that happens. Right, we need another 6 or so of we need to find another forge. We need another 6 of these blooming alloy samples. Is this a forge? No. Not gonna be there. That's backtracking. Come on. Think about this. That looks like a forge. You know what? I haven't used this in a while. There's a reason it's bad. Not bad. But the AoE is like so small that like a lot of the time I don't see the point in it. You know? Nothing against them. Nothing against the ability. I imagine it has actual uses where it is more powerful than my blimmin' lightning attack. I'm calling it a lightning attack. I think it's like a burning spear, but it's cooler to say lightning bolt, you know? Lightning bolt, lightning bolt, lightning bolt. I guess I could call it like flame lance. In fact, I think that's exactly what it's called. And for some reason in my head, I'm like, I've come up with that. God, I've killed 50 Draugr just by doing this. It's weird, it feels like the guards are stronger than the Master Smiths. And that, it shouldn't be that, you know? None of you are useless. Sorry, all of you are useless. That's what I was trying to say. I don't want to deal with random, like getting the drop chance off Master Smiths is just not worth it. I think I just need to hope that they've respawned over here, I guess. I'm not sure if I can take from this one again, but at least there's a bunch of enemies I can kill here. Maybe it's because I focus the Master Smith as soon as it appears. I think they're weaker. You know? That has some merit to it, I think. I wish they'd stop attacking me. I'd very much like it if you stopped attacking me. I'm trying to find the Mind Flayer Overseer. If I kill him, you'll not be under slavery. Like, I'm trying to help you here, if you think about it for like a second. What are these? Oh, they're just intellect devours again. Attack from this direction! Oh, fuck. Okay, that guy was not nearly as strong as he kind of looked with all of his flashing stuff on him. You know, when you're glowing purple and you've got loads of purple beams coming off of you, I definitely thought he was stronger. I do like how in this game, they've replicated something that all DMs, after like their first couple sessions, will do, which is that every enemy, even if it doesn't make 100% sense, will have some kind of ranged attack.
So you slew a Mind Flayer Overseer, huh?
You sent me to.
Mind Flayers, terrible foes. While you were gone,
did you not expect me to do that?
That may lead us to the root of their plot.
Oh, those blasted Durgar haven't gotten into Cottledream. Ah, the smithing supplies. You can see for yourself what fine work this is. With just a little finishing, these will soon be equipping our guides in the fight against those squids.
Sure. Just smile and nod. Act like you actually understand half of what he's saying. Oh look, another frickin' forge. The title is correct. We go from one forge to blimmin' another forge. Okay, this is kind of getting insane.
According to the Durgar we've interrogated, the Mind Flayer leading this illicit incursion is known as Revered Flora. He's hunting for an upper vault where the Flayers think there's some lost god. Few of our prisoners know anything about the upper vaults. Apparently only one Durgar has been there and returned. The Forge Master of the Wrath Forge. He's a Master Smith and Overseer that the Flayers either trust or control completely. The Guild would like you to enter the Wrath Forge and get the secret of the upper vault from the Forge Master. Are you up to the task?
Yeah. One question. Is the guy called Reverend? Or is that a title? I know that sounds stupid, but I think there's a good chance it could be either. What do you think, pig? Can I turn you into a bigger pig yet? How do I unlock the bigger pig? I want War Pig. All the powers. Oh, I can have another one here. That's good. Can I upgrade this stuff? Okay. Look at this boy. Anyway, the reason I'm looking at that boy is because you know what time it is? It's time for us to come off stream. So I hope everyone's had a good time. Another thank you to Super G4 Meher 0 and Trace Bakai. Sorry if I said the names wrong. Trace Bakai. And Super G4 Meher 0. And also thank you to Isa Motel for coming back and talking to me. Very nice to see her. See them again. I hope everybody's had fun. I have. This game is definitely getting up there on like my favorite games to stream. So it's always fun to do it. I hope everyone has a great weekend. I don't think I'll stream over the weekend, but if I do, that'll be great. Great to see you again. If not, everybody enjoy it. Bye.